Stop, Jonathan, stop. Jonathan, stop. Stop, Jonathan, stop.
April 12th, 2018, Shreveport, Louisiana. Thousands of people are scrolling through their Facebook feeds when a live broadcast begins. A woman appears on screen, visibly shaken, nervous. Behind her stands a man, a rifle in his hands. She's forced to speak, forced to apologize. But for what? Viewers are confused. Some think it's a joke. Others sense something is wrong. And then, in real time, the horror unfolds. That woman was 27-year-old Renita Williams, and that Facebook Live would capture the final moments of her life. A mother of three, a woman loved by her family, a life ended in front of the world. What led to this horrifying moment? Who was Jonathan Robinson, the man behind the gun? And why did this happen live for thousands to see? Tonight, we take you inside a case that shocked the internet, a case that forces us to ask, when does social media become a witness to murder? In the heart of Shreveport, Louisiana, a young woman named Renita Williams, affectionately known as Nunu, was a beacon of light to all who knew her. Born and raised in this vibrant community, Renita was more than just a resident. She was a cherished friend, a devoted mother, and a woman with dreams that reached far beyond her hometown. As a mother of three, Jada, King, and Damaya, Renita's world revolved around her children. She was determined to provide them with a life filled with love, stability, and opportunities she herself had yearned for. To support her family, Renita utilized her innate talents in hairstyling and interior decorating, offering her services to neighbors and friends. Her cousin, Trina Williams, fondly recalled, she did hair and interior design for her neighbors to make money to support her kids. Beyond her professional endeavors, Renita was known for her infectious laughter and unwavering positivity. Friends and family often spoke of her ability to uplift others, even when she faced challenges of her own. Her home was a sanctuary, not just for her children, but for anyone in need of a listening ear or a comforting meal. However, behind the radiant smile, Renita's personal life was marked by a tumultuous relationship with Jonathan Robinson. Their on-again, off-again romance spanned approximately 5 years, characterized by periods of affection overshadowed by episodes of tension and discord. Family members observed red flags early on, noting Robinson's possessiveness and unpredictable temper. Despite these warning signs, Renita, like many, hoped for change, believing that love and patience might quell the storms that frequently arose. Approximately 2 years before the tragic events of April 12th, 2018, Renita made the courageous decision to end her relationship with Robinson. Embracing a newfound sense of freedom, she embarked on a journey of self-discovery and healing. Friends noticed a rejuvenated spirit as she poured her energy into her children, her burgeoning business, and a new romantic relationship that brought her genuine happiness. Trina Williams noted, they most recently called it quits about 2 years ago. Williams was in a new relationship and was happy. Yet beneath the surface, Robinson's inability to let go festered. Unbeknownst to Renita, his obsession grew, setting the stage for a confrontation that would forever alter the lives of those who knew and loved her. As we delve deeper into this story, we uncover the complexities of a relationship fraught with love and danger, and the harrowing consequences when warning signs are ignored. In the next chapter, we explore the background of Jonathan Robinson, a man with a history of violence and a propensity for control. What led him down this path? And could the tragedy have been prevented? Stay with us as we continue to unravel the events that led to the heartbreaking loss of Renita Williams. Jonathan Robinson, born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana, was a man whose life was marred by a series of violent behaviors and criminal activities. His interactions with the law were frequent and troubling, painting a portrait of a man with deep-seated issues of aggression and control. Robinson's criminal history is extensive. In 2015, he was arrested for a violent assault on a former girlfriend. The incident escalated when he ran her off the road, physically attacked her, and subsequently threatened responding police officers. It took the combined efforts of 4 officers to subdue and arrest him. Despite the severity of his actions, Robinson often faced minimal consequences. Charges were sometimes dismissed and sentences appeared lenient. For instance, a prior charge against him was dismissed in September 2018, raising concerns about the judicial system's handling of repeat offenders. Robinson's behavior was not limited to physical violence. He exhibited patterns of controlling and manipulative conduct, especially towards women he was involved with, and unpredictable temper during their 5-year on-and-off relationship. These red flags were evident, yet Ranita, like many victims, hoped for change. In the months leading up to April 2018, Robinson's threats escalated. Associates reported that he became increasingly volatile, especially after Ranita ended their relationship and found happiness with a new partner. This perceived betrayal intensified his obsession, leading him to make menacing remarks and veiled threats, creating an atmosphere of fear for Ranita and those close to her. Despite these warning signs, interventions were either insufficient or absent. The lack of effective legal repercussions and support systems left Ranita vulnerable, culminating in the tragic events of April 12, 2018. Robinson's unchecked aggression and the system's failure to address his behavior adequately set the stage for a devastating outcome. As we delve deeper into this case, we confront the critical question: how did a man with such a pronounced history of violence slip through the cracks, leading to a tragedy broadcasted for the world to see? April 12, 2018, began like any other spring day in Shreveport, Louisiana. The sun cast its warm glow over the city, and residents went about their daily routines, unaware that a horrifying event was about to unfold in their community. At 10:48 a.m., the Shreveport Police Department received a distressing call reporting gunshots at 1301 Natalie Street, the home of 27-year-old Ranita Williams. Officers were dispatched immediately, arriving on the scene at 10:53 a.m. Upon their arrival, they were met with a barrage of gunfire from within the residence, marking the beginning of a tense and tragic standoff. Inside the house, Ranita Williams was being held hostage by her ex-boyfriend, 36-year-old Jonathan Robinson. The relationship between Ranita and Jonathan had ended 2 years prior, but unresolved emotions and escalating tensions culminated in this violent encounter. Robinson, armed with a rifle, had forcibly entered Ranita's home earlier that morning. In a state of fear and desperation, Ranita was coerced into initiating a Facebook Live broadcast, a chilling testament to the terror she was enduring. The live stream commenced with Ranita seated, visibly distressed, as Robinson loomed behind her, his agitation evident. He demanded that she apologize, though the exact grievance remained unclear. With a trembling voice, Ranita addressed the viewers. "Hey y'all, this is Nunu. I didn't have any business doing all that. My page been blocked." Her attempt to placate Robinson was met with escalating hostility. Pacing behind her, he declared, "Everybody want to be famous? I'm gonna make you famous." The tension in the room was palpable as Ranita's eyes darted toward the camera, silently pleading for help that couldn't arrive in time. As the minutes ticked by, Robinson's rage intensified. He berated Ranita, shouting, "You think I'm worried about the police right now?" His erratic movements and volatile speech painted a picture of a man on the brink. The live stream, intended as a tool for connection and community, had become a window into a nightmare, with viewers helplessly witnessing the escalating danger. In a final harrowing moment, Robinson retrieved his rifle. Ranita's voice, now filled with desperation, pleaded, "Stop, Jonathan! Stop, Jonathan!" Her words hung in the air, a futile attempt to quell the impending violence. Without hesitation, Robinson fired multiple shots. The phone capturing the live stream fell, the screen displaying the ceiling as more gunshots echoed. Robinson's chilling words, "Now, Bishan, game over," marked the tragic end of Ranita's life. The live stream abruptly ended, leaving viewers in shock and disbelief. Outside, the situation remained perilous. Robinson continued to engage in a standoff with law enforcement, firing at officers and prolonging the ordeal. It wasn't until after his eventual surrender that officers were able to enter the home and attend to Ranita. Tragically, she was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital, her life cut short in a horrifying act of domestic violence broadcast for the world to see. The events of that day left an indelible mark on the community and raised profound questions about the role of social media in modern society. How could such a personal and violent act be transmitted in real time? What responsibility do platforms have in monitoring and responding to such content? As we reflect on Ranita Williams's tragic end, we are compelled to examine the intersections of technology, privacy, and the urgent need for effective interventions in situations of domestic abuse. Following the tragic shooting of Ranita Williams on April 12, 2018, law enforcement swiftly mobilized to apprehend Jonathan Robinson. The Shreveport Police Department, upon arriving at the scene, faced immediate hostility as Robinson fired multiple rounds at the responding officers. This aggressive act prompted the deployment of the SWAT team, initiating a tense standoff that lasted approximately 80 minutes. During this confrontation, Corporal Robert Entrican sustained a gunshot wound to his wrist, but was subsequently treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Despite the volatility of the situation, officers exercised restraint, refraining from returning fire to prevent further escalation. Ultimately, Robinson surrendered and was taken into custody without additional casualties. Upon his arrest, Robinson exhibited an unsettling calmness. He was initially transported to the Shreveport City Jail. However, his demeanor shifted as he vandalized his cell, breaking an overhead shower sprinkler and ripping a phone off the wall. This destructive behavior necessitated his transfer to the Caddo Correctional Center, where he was held on multiple charges, including second-degree murder and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. In the months following his arrest, Robinson's case progressed through the judicial system. Facing overwhelming evidence and the possibility of the death penalty, Robinson chose to plead guilty to the first-degree murder of Ranita Williams on January 25, 2019. This plea was part of an agreement to avoid capital punishment. Consequently, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, along with an additional 100 years for related offenses, ensuring he would spend the remainder of his life incarcerated. The swift resolution of this case brought a measure of closure to Ranita Williams's family and the Shreveport community. However, the public nature of the crime, broadcasted live on social media, left lingering questions about the role of digital platforms in such incidents and the responsibilities they bear in monitoring and responding to violent content. As society grapples with these challenges, the tragic loss of Ranita Williams serves as a poignant reminder of the intersection between domestic violence and the digital age. The tragic death of Ranita Williams on April 12, 2018, sent shockwaves through the Shreveport community and beyond. In the wake of this senseless act, her family grappled with profound grief and sought ways to honor her memory. Anita Williams, Ranita's mother, stood before reporters with a heavy heart, expressing the indescribable pain of losing a daughter in such a public and violent manner. Through tears, she conveyed a message of love and remembrance, emphasizing Ranita's vibrant spirit and the void her absence created. In the aftermath, the community rallied to support the Williams family. Local organizations and churches organized memorials and fundraisers, aiming to provide both emotional and financial assistance. One notable gesture came from a Shreveport church, which arranged for Ranita's family to visit Disney World, a brief respite from their sorrow and a chance to create new, happier memories in her honor. Ranita's untimely passing also cast a spotlight on the pervasive issue of domestic violence. Her story became a catalyst for conversations about recognizing warning signs and the importance of early intervention. Advocacy groups emphasize that behaviors such as excessive jealousy, controlling actions, and verbal threats often precede physical violence. Educational campaigns were launched to inform the public about these indicators, urging individuals to seek help at the first signs of abuse. The role of social media in Ranita's tragedy cannot be overlooked. The very platform she used to connect with friends became the medium that broadcasted her final moments. This incident underscored the dual-edged nature of social media in the context of domestic violence. On one hand, abusers may exploit these platforms to monitor, harass, or intimidate their victims, extending their control into the digital realm. On the other hand, social media offers victims avenues to seek help, share their experiences, and raise awareness. Movements like Why I Stayed and Ni Una Menos have harnessed the power of social media to bring global attention to the plight of abuse survivors, fostering communities of support and prompting policy discussions. In response to the growing intersection of technology and domestic abuse, organizations have developed resources to help victims navigate the digital landscape safely. The National Domestic Violence Hotline, for instance, provides guidelines on internet safety, advising individuals on how to protect their online presence and recognize potential digital threats. These measures are crucial in an era where online interactions are integral to daily life, yet can be manipulated as tools of oppression. The legacy of Ranita Williams serves as a poignant reminder of the urgent need to address domestic violence in all its forms. Her story has inspired renewed efforts to educate communities, support victims, and implement policies that protect those at risk. As society continues to grapple with these challenges, the hope is that increased awareness and proactive measures will prevent future tragedies, ensuring that no more lives are lost to such preventable acts of violence. Ranita Williams should be alive today. Her tragic death serves as a stark reminder that domestic violence is a pervasive issue, capable of escalating to fatal consequences in an instant. Her story compels us to confront the harsh realities faced by countless individuals subjected to abuse behind closed doors. In the wake of such tragedies, it's imperative to transform sorrow into action. Communities worldwide are mobilizing to combat domestic violence through various initiatives. For instance, in England, a pilot program known as Raneem's Law has been introduced, embedding domestic abuse specialists within emergency call centers to provide real-time guidance during incidents. This initiative aims to enhance the police response to domestic violence, ensuring victims receive timely and informed support. Similarly, in New South Wales, Australia, nearly 2,000 men have come forward acknowledging their potential danger to loved ones. In response, the government has expanded men's behavior change programs to 35 locations, focusing on helping men recognize and alter their abusive behaviors. This proactive approach emphasizes accountability and aims to prevent violence before it occurs. Awareness and education are crucial components in the fight against domestic violence. Events like the Epic Walk for DV in Queensland, Australia, bring communities together to raise funds and support services for affected women and children. Such initiatives not only provide financial assistance, but also foster a sense of solidarity and collective responsibility. It's essential to recognize that domestic violence transcends demographics, affecting individuals regardless of age, gender, or socioeconomic status. Educational programs targeting young people, such as those organized during Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, play a pivotal role in identifying warning signs and promoting healthy relationships from an early age. Empowering youth with knowledge and resources lays the foundation for a future free from abuse. Social media, while often a tool for connection, can also serve as a platform where abuse manifests. The tragic case of Ranita Williams, whose final moments were broadcasted live, highlights the urgent need for vigilance and intervention in the digital realm. Platforms must take responsibility for monitoring content and providing avenues for users to report abuse, ensuring timely action to protect potential victims. As we reflect on Ranita's story, let it serve as a catalyst for change. We must remain vigilant, educate ourselves and others, and support initiatives aimed at eradicating domestic violence. If you or someone you know is in danger, don't wait. Seek help immediately, because no one should have to apologize for wanting to live.